dreams and what it's about. I think a lot of people here, our children, can benefit greatly from what you do.
All right, definitely. First, I just want to thank Dwayne and Shara just for putting this event together. I think it's an amazing event. It happens weekly to highlight professionals in our community trying to uplift. But real quick, what Swiss Dreams is, in a nutshell, we teach children math and reading through sports. So we teach them literacy through sports, something that they're exposed to on an everyday basis, something that's relative in their lives. We teach them math and reading, something that's so fundamental to them being successful in their everyday life.
And you're a product of Inglewood. We got great people in our community that have done wonderful things from Inglewood. And when we talk about Inglewood, we talk about, all the different things, the violence that goes on there, dilapidated houses, all these different things. But there's giants being born and raised out of Inglewood. Is that right?
Definitely. Well, I'm not from Inglewood, but I am from the 28th Ward. This is just a burden.
Now, they got you in Inglewood on your bio. On your piece, they got you from Inglewood.
We started in Inglewood.
Okay, just good organization. Okay.
And adopted.
Yeah.
We all soldiers of the same struggle, so might as well be from Inglewood.
I like that. Tweet that. Soldiers of the same struggle.
Focused on helping young ones understand the concept of entrepreneurship. Talk to us a little bit about what Swiss Dreams is doing with respect to entrepreneurship and helping the young ones understand.
Well, actually, that's how I got my start in education. When I first graduated from Howard back in 2003, I started my career in Inglewood. I was selling mutual funds, I was selling investment products, and one thing I noticed was that like 60% of Inglewood itself could not even qualify for a checking account. So here I was in Inglewood, they were expecting me to sell IRAs, stocks, bonds, and mutual funds to people who couldn't even get a checking account. So what I decided to do, I decided to just get more involved in the community, volunteering after work, just so I could get to know people. And then the people that could qualify, they were keeping their money in like shoe boxes and under their mattresses. Then I went back to school, got my master's in education, and then when I got my master's in education, I started to teach an entrepreneurship curriculum. And as I started teaching it, my kids, they like clung on to it. And one of my students, he was actually homeless. And he won second place nationally in an entrepreneurship competition out of 25,000 people. So we won, won first place in the city twice. One of my former students right here, he actually won third place in the city, and he actually worked for me. So as far as Swiss Dreams, what we do, we teach kids math and reading through basketball, so we expose them to different careers. So we teach them that you can be a coach, you can be a publicist, you can be a esthetician. It's a myriad of careers that you can attain just by loving the game of basketball. It's more than just being an athlete.
So can you walk us through specifically how that happened? I don't know much about basketball other than when I see it on the screen. I don't know much about dribbling or anything like that, but it's fun to watch.
Well, definitely. Well, this is how our camp goes. During that first week, you get a pre-assessment in math and reading. As you know, only 95% of African Americans, only 6% of African Americans even graduate from college. So that's already in itself an epidemic. 90% of all African American males who you see are put in special education. So right there, that's an epidemic in and of itself. So in terms of my camp, during that first week, our students, they get pre-assessed in math, pre-assessed in reading to find out where they are and where their strengths and weaknesses are. So that happens during the morning time. During the night time, we assess them on their basketball skills and on their fitness level. And during that first week, it's like an NBA-style basketball camp where they have to do the mile run, we measure their body fat, and then by the end of the week, they participate in draft, where they get drafted on a different team based upon their skill level. And all while they're doing this in that math and reading class, they're learning about how basketball relates to math and reading. So an example might be if Kobe Bryant takes 20 shots and he makes 10, what's his field goal percentage? If I have 10 assists and 3 turnovers, what's my assist to turnover ratio? So that's math class. Reading class might be compare and contrast Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. So that will take place for a few weeks, and then while they're playing, after every game, they have to get post-game interviews. Before every game, they do get pre-game interviews. So this helps them learn how to speak in public. Those soft skills that are so important, because as we know, a lot of times we speak one way at home, and then we know that can't translate over when you're interviewing for a job. So you have to learn how to speak basically two different vernaculars. And then as camp concludes, they have a post-assessment. And I'm very proud of this. Last year, our students' math scores increased by 27%. Their reading scores increased by 3%. So we have media trainers come in, we have dietitians come in to teach them how athletes eat. We have coach, we had a coach from U of I come in, we had Sean Marion come in and talk to the kids. So we were able to do a lot of positive things in just a short amount of time. And the thing is that if you don't know better, you can't do better. So a lot of the kids in our camp, they idolize basketball players, but they need to be exposed to the other careers that are in basketball as well. Like I said, coaching. You can do PR, you can be an agent, you can own a team.
That's right.
You know? So your career doesn't stop with just, playing basketball.
And that's really an awesome thing, because I think a lot of us that follow basketball, especially basketball is, I think, the place where that is most glaring, where the greatest players are not always the greatest coaches. So you always have some guy who's like a really mediocre player that's like outstanding coach, like Chris Ford or even, what's his name, Casey Jones. And Phil Jackson was good as a player, but he wasn't like, the deal, you know what I mean? So there's a lot more that they can learn from the game than just being a great player. And I think what you're doing, man, I think is really, really awesome. I've read about it, I've looked at it and seen it, but hearing you describe it like that, for me, is really awesome, because I know a lot of young men who know the standings in the Western Conference better than they know their own, what's going on in their own school, So, I guess you saw that and you recognized that in these young men. So, how many people can go to that camp at one time? How many fit into one of your sessions?
Well, right now, I'm happy to report last year we had 35 kids. Before that, I did this program for 4 years, every Saturday with me and my students for free. It was just because we all had that one common denominator that we loved the game of basketball. So last year we started with 35, and this year we opened up to 2 locations, so we're going to have 90 kids that come through our program. That's 90 kids are going to be off the street, doing something positive, math and reading.
What about the requirements?
Well, the requirements right now, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, we give every kid a scholarship. It costs $375, that's how we charge each kid. It costs us $600 per child, because we give them, every teacher is certified in math and reading. Then we have a head coach, and we have 4 assistant coaches. So it's a 1 to 3 student to teacher ratio. So it's definitely a very high quality program. I ask anybody in here to go on our website at switchtrains.org. We have tons of videos, tons of photos that you can see, and testimonials from not only myself, but students and parents as well, so we can actually see the work that we're doing.
Speaking of testimonials, can we have your former student come on and tell us about your
Good evening, everyone.
Morning for some of us.
Well, I met Mr. Mercer my sophomore year of high school. He was a little short new teacher in the building. They put a new class on my schedule called Introduction to Entrepreneurship. Now, me being the age of 15, I didn't know anything about entrepreneurship, didn't know what it was, nothing like that. And I tried to get the class dropped, but it was too late. So my first day, I went in there, and he talked to us about entrepreneurship, broke down the definition of things. And ever since that first day, in my sophomore year of high school, I caught on to everything he was saying. And I've been rolling with him since that day. And it's been a wonderful experience. Me and my best friends, we love the program. We love hanging out with him. And he has introduced us to other entrepreneurs and other successful black males in the community that has also become me and my friends' mentors. And we could anything we need, we call them to this day, and they're there for us.
That's right.
And it's all because of Swiss Dreams, and you know, it has helped us out a lot. And last year, I was the coach of the team. You know, we went to the finals, didn't win, but you know, that's gonna change this year. But, it was a wonderful experience, just interacting with younger kids, you know, seeing how they grasp on the things, and trying to teach them the concepts of math and reading, and how it correlates with basketball, and teaching them the game of basketball, you know, fundamentals of basketball, and seeing the kids grab on to it, you know, it's a wonderful feeling. And, you know, me and my friends, we still talk about it to this day, even though the camp was last year, we still talk about what we gonna do better, what we gonna do this year, how we gonna do this, how we gonna do that. So it's just a wonderful experience. And a lot of people support it, and we would love to get more supporters and more people to donate to the business, but it's a wonderful experience.
Now, real quick, I want to touch on that while he's still up here and he made mention of that. What can we do and what can we do to help to gain support? What does that support look like?
Well, obviously, with any nonprofit, with any business, the bottom line is to generate more revenue. But what's different about a nonprofit is that not only can you donate your money, you can donate your time. You can donate whatever experience. If you want to share an experience with a child, because a lot of these children that come through our camp, they don't have exposure to someone that works a 9 to 5, someone that even took 2 years of college. So just being able to donate your time and being intentional about making someone that's younger than you successful. But obviously, we take donations. If you go to our website at www.swissdreams.org, we have a list of things that we desperately need in order to fulfill our mission. So, you can talk to me afterwards. I'm definitely open. The only thing is, if you do want to work with the kids, you can't have a criminal record. So, I hope that doesn't eliminate anybody. But no, in all seriousness, it's so many things we need help with. Everything from, enhancing our website to teaching the youth to T-shirts. Even if you just proofreading the emails that we send out, because a lot of times we're up late at night burning the midnight oil. I might send out something with a misspelled word, and somebody replies back like, "You're supposed to be teaching kids language arts, messing up on words." I'm not sending my kids there, so phone banking, everything, fundraising, really.
So some of the guys that are here can donate some of the services from their business in some way to Swiss Dreams. So if somebody here is a web designer and want to donate a little bit of that, graphic design, they can donate a little bit of that, mentoring, they can do that. And
that's right, definitely. And you never know, we've been featured by NBC, WGN, Black Enterprise, we've been on WVON, we've been on national publications. So you might look at it as, well, I don't want to donate, what am I going to get out of it? You never know what you're going to do, you never know what you're going to get out of it. We've been so blessed to get so much exposure. I came to this event last week just to support a friend of mine, and here I am already on the panel, had no idea. So but just trust me, if you put into Swiss Dreams or if you put into another charity or something that you believe about, you'll definitely reap the benefits of it.
This young man is a shining example.
Absolutely. So you turn liabilities into assets, just to piggyback on something I mean, realistically, man, I've been out there and I understand that world very well. And I know what it's like to be a person that is not really doing anything productive and to be turned around into doing something that's more productive and really coming to understand what life is really about and how big the world is. When I grew up, and I think we come from pretty much the same era, we didn't understand that we could have been sports agents. We didn't know we could have been front office personnel for the Chicago Blackhawks or the Bulls or the Bears or whatever. We just really didn't have that. So nobody was really here to tell us that. So that's why I really applaud what you're doing, man. I think it's wonderful.
Yes, I agree. Do you have regular fundraisers?
Right, well, we actually have a fundraiser coming up. It's Friday, April 1st at La Flor de Lis. For those of you who don't know, it's the Old Negro League Cafe. It's on 43rd and Prairie, 301 West 43rd Street to be exact. Tickets are $40. That does include an open bar as well as food for 2 hours. So it's going to be a presentation about myself, by some of our students, some of our coaches, some of our parents. And one thing I want people to understand about a nonprofit, even though I founded a nonprofit, it's not something that's owned by me. It's owned by the public. So at any given moment, if the board of directors feel like I'm not doing my job, I can immediately be eliminated from, being associated with the nonprofit. So I try as best I can to be as transparent and to involve everyone in the process of Swiss Dreams. If you just have a few minutes, go on the internet tonight, type in the state of black males in Chicago, and some of the statistics that you'll see, 50% of black men between the ages of 25 and 35 being unemployed. A black person only making, on average, a white person making 67% more money than a black person, and even if they work the same job, have the same degree. So if I'm making $100,000, he's making $670,000, and we have the same exact background. What sense does that make? But the only way that we can rise up is if we really come together and focus on something that's common. So if Swiss Dreams isn't your thing, I really encourage everybody in here to get involved with something else that is.
And what you're doing is important. You're focusing on and highlighting the potential of these young men and not allowing the statistics to dictate or define the net income for your program.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think with what you're doing, you kind of spoke on something a moment ago about how you came here last week for the first time. Well, it might be interesting for you to know that before you came here, a young lady mentioned your name to me that she was going to a meeting at your house one night that they were having. She was like, "So you know Johnny Mercer?" I was like, "No." She said, "Swiss Drink." And I said, "Oh, I know about that because I've heard that many times before." Turn around the next day, whatever it was, she was here, you were here, that year. It's like
6 degrees.
Networking. I wrote a quote that said that networking accelerates the law of attraction. So the people that need to be close together, the people that need to meet each other, that process gets accelerated when you come out and put yourself in a situation where you get to meet them, and that's why BSN is so important. That's why Swiss Dream is so important, because you serve as the benefactor of the law of attraction for these young men that you help, and we think that's really, really outstanding.
Yeah, what people might not realize, and we might take it for granted, but what you guys are doing is really historic, because there's nothing else that's going on right now in Chicago is bringing efforts like us to the forefront. If you turn on the news, it's all the negativity that's going on in our community. So I definitely applaud what you guys are doing, and I'm always be a supporter of it.
Thank you.
And I definitely want to thank you for having me.
Thank you. We're going to support what you do.
Yeah.
And we're going to start, what day of the week is April 1st is a Sunday?
April 1st is a Friday. Friday.
Okay. I'm going to make sure that I'm there. I'm going to raise my hand and say that I'm going to be there.
All right.
With that event.
We got it on tape.
Now, but also, I'm going to pledge that I'm going to talk to you possibly even later tonight, if we got time, to talk to you about what I can do to contribute to Swiss Dreams on a personal, mentoring level, or whatever the case might be. And I encourage anybody that's here that's really, really about it to do the same, because we talk all day about what's not right in our community, and when we get an opportunity to correct that, we gotta make sure we do that. We gotta make sure we support that.
Yeah, it's about reinvestment. That's all. That's the name of the game. Reinvestment.
It's not just money. It's time. It's time and it's effort.
Now, the apple hasn't fallen far from the tree. You learned a lot from your mother, right? I was reading your bio. You want to share a little bit about
my mom she's sick with it. I mean, she's probably at work right now. I mean, for those of you who don't know my mom, she has one of the largest insurance agencies in the country with Allstate Insurance. She has over 5,000 customers. When I was a kid in 3rd grade, we used to go on the red line and pass out flyers. When I was in 6th grade, I got promoted to calling people in the yellow pages. So I would be calling people in the yellow pages. She would give me these lists. I would be calling on the list. Half the people on the list would be dead. I mean, like seriously, right now, she has her book of business is worth over $5 million, and she's done this. She paid for my education out of pocket. I don't have any student loans because my mom just paid for it.
All right. Don't style it big.
I'm it, I've traveled all over the world, every continent except for Antarctica, on my mom. And I mean, she's not here right now, but she's definitely a phenomenal woman, and she did it on her own. When she first started, at the age of 21, when she had me, she had to drop out of college, and she was on welfare for 2 years, went back to school, got her degree, got involved in entrepreneurship. She started with one customer, and now she has more than 5,000 customers. Her name is Frances Wright. Definitely look her up. She's been an inspiration to me.
Sounds like a good featured guest for the future. You're going to have to get moms up here to tell that story, man. That is really, really incredible.
You represented well.
We all we got, right?
That's how it goes. That's right. We all we got. CMP, baby.
Love that, brother.
Rick Drake. So, to wrap that up, let's remind everybody, and we know you'll be here for a little while to meet people, but how they can connect with Swiss Dreams online and in social media.
Exactly. We, of course, we in all the major media forums, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, but www.swissdreams.org. I have flyers that you can pass out, and there's so many ways that you can get involved with us. Whatever your skill set is, I'm sure that we can use it. And I just want to thank everybody who's in the audience, who's listening, who came to hear us, Sharon, DeWade, thanks for having me. Ralph, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
I'm glad you memorized everything I told you to say. But in all seriously, I really thank everybody that has supported. You know, you can't get to any plateau or any way in life without good people around you and supporting you. So I'm really appreciative, and I'm very humbled to be on the stage with you guys.
Right, we humbled to have you, man. We hear about people all the time. I'm a person in Charlotte too, man. I mean, people are always throwing names and ideas and stuff, but I've heard about Swiss Dreams before I heard your name. So when I started to hear your name, it was coming from people that were people of substance, and it means a lot, man. And so your reputation spoke before you, well ahead of me actually having the opportunity to meet you last week. So it was really great to do that, and I'm happy that you came here. And I think that everybody here, I always want to remind you that you got to pay attention to what we're looking at, because the people who we feature here, these are stars of the future. Those folks that were here last week, Fuzzy, and the whole cast of the play, those people are going to be stars in the future that we're going to be looking at saying, I knew them when. I saw them.
Stars right now.
That's right. That's right.
Actually, she performed at my first fundraiser, which is very ironic.
Yeah, and it's a bunch of people in the room that know her and that have seen her. But that stuff is serious, man. She came up here with the helmet on and the whole glasses and that stuff is serious. And we got to take it seriously. If we say if we really want Sharon what we say we want, we got to take it seriously when we see it in front of us. And you, my brother, are a shining example of somebody that's doing what all of us wish we could and what we pray for. Our grandparents pray at night for what you're doing right now, because it helps to save their children. And for that, we thank you.